This is Jason Patrick. Welcome to the Frog Brothers Podcast.
Welcome back to Haunted by Tapes with the Frog Brothers Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Frog Bros Podcast, Haunted by Tapes. Tonight's trash film is Scream motherfucking 3. And we are joined here tonight by Ghostface himself. How are you doing, Ghostface?
You hang up on me again and I'll gut you like a fish, understand? Something like that, right? What's the line?
Yeah, something like
Line.
And this one?
Got you like a fish. It's funny, behind the scenes, I saw the guy that voices that is doing like cons recently. You know, he's on the con circuit right now, and he looks absolutely nothing like you'd imagine the face for that voice.
They look like Handsome Dan.
Yeah, basically. Mr. Scream.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Shit.
So, not a lot of crazy stuff in the news this week, but we'll have a few things to talk about.
I got a bunch of new junk from thrift stores.
I got one thing to show off real quick, and I'll show it since I already opened it. I got the Black Panther Marvel Legends series re-release that they just put out. I'd seen the Black Panther before, didn't buy it, and then I saw several of them, so I made sure I got it, because I didn't get that originally. So
Pop that mask off.
it's nice. You can change the head. Need to do that again here on the microphone.
Oh, I thought the mask just comes off the
No,
head.
the mask could come off, but listen to that pop. It's like the... I like that sound, don't you? That popping sound. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is a pretty good figure, though. I like it. Great articulation, great detail. It's a pretty fun one. What'd you get, Alec?
I got just a bunch of random junk, and we're going to go through some of it fairly quickly, just so we're not sitting here talking about it all day. But some new VHS tapes, Thelma and Louise, which for some reason has caricature artwork of them scotch taped to the back. Couldn't tell you why. Scotch tape there.
That's
you
a
see the
unique
lines.
item.
But yeah. A sealed copy of Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight.
Which Alec has not seen.
I have not. MCA Universal.
You have not seen Demon Knight?
No.
We'll
What
have,
the
to,
fuck? That's such a good movie.
we'll have to put that on the calendar sometime.
The Raven, starring Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff from the Universal Monsters Classic Collection.
Very nice.
A Shrek VHS in the massive box. Instant win card included, which they clearly... Yeah, they took that out, but they left this attached.
Yeah, it looks like it comes with a...
Win an Xbox video game system, Kia Sedona minivan, Game Boy Mini Advanced, Shrek video game, or Baskin Robbins ice cream.
It looks like it comes with a video game.
Just has that oversized VHS box, which is the novelty of it being Shrek.
And it is rewound, ladies and gentlemen. And it is, in fact, Shrek.
It's not,
not.
the porno parody of Shrek.
No.
What is that called?
Schmegma. I don't know. The Star Trek first 5 motion pictures. I guess that's kind of the...
Well, the funny thing is...
Is there a 6th one that's grouped with these two?
It came out later, but they kept the same artwork, but all it is black and the red, because the ship was already completed. It's really fucking dumb.
That's hilarious.
Oh, really? So they just kind of half-assed it?
I had the whole... I mean, it...
Well, they didn't want to redesign and reprint all those ones, so that's probably why.
Well, they should have put like a shuttlecraft on the side or something.
Something.
But
Yeah.
it's just the black and the red to go along with it.
Now, I've only seen Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan of these, but I'm going to go through eventually and
Definitely watch
experience them
3
all.
and 4 soon while you still got 2 in your head.
I found a Flintstones Rock Donald's glass.
Fuck yeah. That's an underrated movie, by the way, if you
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
seen that.
The first one?
Fucking Rick Moranis,
1995.
I saw that at the theater.
This was $1.49.
John Goodman. Classic film right there.
Saw it with my parents and my friend Jonathan.
Now, this came out in your era, but is more known for my era of people.
What?
These books. Magic Treehouse books.
Sounds
This
familiar.
came out in like 92, 3, 4, somewhere in there.
Was it one of those series that picked up later on?
I think so, but there's lots of these, and I read them a bunch as a kid. They're like, they're like introduction to chapter books for kids, basically.
Yeah.
And understanding like plots like that. But I just found one of those and grabbed it for nostalgic purposes.
Yeah, see, for us, it would have been like Boxcar Children or whatever the hell they called that. That was like
Babysitter's Club was another one.
Yeah, the Boxcar Children was like one of those series that was already going by the time we
remember that.
were
Well, this
reading.
came out at the same time as Goosebumps, but it's like, or even earlier, around the same time, I want to say, probably started. And then just didn't get popular till I was kind of in second grade or so.
Either way, if you're encouraging kids to read, you're doing something right. Anne Rice, Interview with the Vampire. That's very nice.
Yes.
Book one of this series. She's written several of those.
I've been wanting to read it for a while, so I picked that up today. It was like $3 at Half Price Books.
Not shown, I also picked up David Lynch's book on consciousness, meditation, and everything else. Oh my God.
It's not sealed, but it has the shrink
Oh, it
wrap
has
on
the
it.
shrink wrap on
Major
the. Oh, I love
pain.
people that kept the shrink wrap on there. Keep the box clean. Oh yeah, look at
Whatever
that. Even has the
Stamp is, but I'm not sure. But Major Pain on VHS, which I didn't have yet, so I obviously just instantly grabbed and was like, all right, I'm buying that.
such a classic movie.
The last VHS is a two-banger, two-pack of Curse of the Blair Witch and The Blair Witch Project. The Curse of the Blair Witch is like a
I remember we had both. of those.
promotional thing that goes along with it, basically. It's a 44-minute fake special feature documentary, basically.
Didn't they release that before the movie came out or something along those lines so you could watch that before you saw the movie? Because they were originally, when they were marketing that, they marketed it like it was a real thing.
Well, yeah, contains additional documentary footage explaining the phenomenon, the Blair Witch Project, trademark,
Yeah.
but does not contain the feature in its entirety. But it also has the movie, so
That's a pretty cool collector set there, though. I
Yeah.
like that.
I have to pick that up. And got a couple books here, some of which are pretty neat. Animorphs, you remember this shit?
I never read any of those, but I remember seeing them.
That
Like,
looks like Skinwalkers.
they're
This
like
is
your
number-
era of... Yeah, it
Number
does.
2.
That does look like your
I
era of
remember
kids'
that.
books.
Well, this is, again, like, when I was in school, it was like this and Goosebumps were the top tier of books. Like, there was nothing else. And this always involved people... Yeah, this is from 96, so this is like... I was 5. I was too young for this when it came out, but, like, it was still a thing.
Is that related to Manimal, the TV show?
Anyway, look at that.
Probably.
People remember Animorphs. People closer to my age and other people out there.
I remember seeing
Comments
them.
below.
Yeah, I remember seeing it too.
Look at that, though. She morphs into a fucking cat, so I was like, hell yeah, I'm getting that one.
Live with cats long enough, you can turn into a cat lady.
I believe you mentioned this last week.
Oh, Attack of the Mutant! I fucking love that one. That's
Found
my
that
top
one
5
this week.
That's a good one. You'll like it. Comic book related too. Oh, The Mask Returns.
The Haunted
Or
Mask 2.
Yeah,
With that creepy motherfucker.
that's awesome.
Son of the Mask.
And I found 2 of the Reader Beware, You Choose the Scare. I found the first one,
Oh yeah, that's the one I had. Damn, that's awesome.
Escape from the Carnival of Horrors.
Man, you got 2 of the books that were in my top 5 the other day. You son of a bitch.
And now
I'm
he's
just
don't-
trying to
and now
complete
he's
my
gonna-
Goosebumps.
If those don't show up on my Christmas tree, I'm
I
gonna
was gonna
fucking
say now he's gonna
stab you.
gift them to you.
Reader Beware, You Choose the Scare.
Just kidding.
This one's
That wasn't
Beware
a
of the
threat.
Purple Peanut Butter. Look at that shit.
Yeah.
How can I not get that? It reminds me of Ivan Ooze,
That looks
Yeah.
like grape jelly.
but it's peanut butter.
Remember the rock and roll band Green Jelly?
No,
They did music for the Spider-Man Maximum Carnage video game.
never played it.
They had their own little promo thing in there. Green Jelly.
So yeah, like
Green jelly, blue jelly.
7 books, like 7 VHS tapes.
We need to start a fucking book club for some of these books. I'm telling you, man. We need to have a segment for that.
You ask your thrift stores if they have like a punch card.
Oh, I mean, Brass Armadillo has a thing for every... They have a point system, and
Really?
so does Goodwill. I have
Yeah, that
numbers
store's-
with all of them,
That
yes.
store's
Yes.
huge.
Well, that's the thing. Around here, we have
What?
City Thrift, right around the corner of here. We have
I don't remember if I've been in there.
Goodwill and Red Racks right next to each other. And then you have Brass Armadillo. That's for like antique and thrift stores.
Brass Armadillo is like a whole afternoon.
Well, if you
Remember, we rushed through it and it took us 2 hours, I think.
I can go in there in like 30 minutes.
You can probably go
If
in
I
there-
know the
if you know
areas.
if you know the vendors in there, then yeah, you can probably go through and like check the vendors that usually.
Well, I
get
mean,
your
if you want to
kinda-
look at everything, you're in there for
Yeah.
a
I
while.
like to go through everything, but I don't every time I go in there anymore. I go through like 4 or 5 aisles. Because there's
Like
so much shit.
the action figure aisles.
Well, there's a couple of them, yeah, that I like to go to. There's that one that I got this Dracula figure from. He always has some Ghostbuster stuff, but it's always been stuff I've had. Or he had a broken up, busted version of the Ecto 2, I guess, the helicopter one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it didn't have anything like it
I
was just
like-
beaten to hell.
Yeah, they're always missing.
I
a
lucked
wing.
out and got one of those at Vintage Stock once, and it had everything besides the seatbelt. The seatbelt was broken out of it. Other than that, everything was good.
I need to get one of those again.
In other news, I did a full version of this spooky shit song.
You gonna play it now?
Yeah, we're gonna jam to this shit
We'll
right now.
gladly show you now.
So, enjoy spooky shit. I like spooky shit like Scooby-Doo, I admit. Necronomicon, horror movie, 16-bit. Castlevania, X-Files, the Satanic Bible. Betty White and Lake, Placid Feet and Crocodiles. Mary Shelley, Edgar Allan Poe, while I listen to Typo. Bram Stoker, Stephen King, John Carpenter's The Thing, Morticia, Elvira, Lily Munster, and Vampira. All the goth babes that I wish I was inside of. Freddy is my pal, yeah, we play in 64. You got the body, I got the brain, bitch, I could be your whore. I'll fuck Greta Gremlin while I look her in the eye. Post got a fucking candlelight and we're both stupid high. Book of the Dead, give bitch's head, tied to my bed and her cheeks turn red. Black panties, Satan's queen, sit on my face and give me that cream. Dracula, Alf, and the ghost of Carl Sagan. My fantasy, circle jerk that you can't participate in. I live in a haunted house and I've seen UFOs. Ghostbusters gotta help me clear this house of ghost hoes. Courage the Cowardly Dog, Jason Voorhees, Michael Keaton. Dawn of the Dead in my bed, cause that ass I do be eating. I live in a haunted house and I've seen UFOs. Ghostbusters gotta help me clear this house of ghost hoes. Courage the Cowardly Dog, Jason Voorhees, Michael Keaton. Dawn of the Dead in my bed, cause that ass I do be eating. I am the spookiest, creepiest thing in all of the lands. I stack my VHS next to severed heads and hands. Don't you check the freezer, cause I'm all out up on pops. But I got some spooky shit, turn this girl into a cyclops. Neff, Campbell, Boris, Karloff, Bride of Chucky. While I beat off Jennifer Tilly, Naomi Watts. I wanna lick both of their wops. Cover me in blood and boobs and chocolate covered weed and booze. I got gooey loot, cause I be fucking Ivan News. Satan is my homie, we play golf on Sundays. We play with butt plugs in, cause we're both a little gay. Cronenberg, Wicked Dick, directed by David Lynch. We all might have an orgy with the Wicked Witch and the Grinch. I'm having pea soup dinner, Exorcist is on TV. And rice brought weed, and now it's a party. Ouija board, death by sword, banging your girl that I met on Discord. Blood and gore, don't you want more? I fucked your girl in my video store. I live in a haunted house, and I've seen UFOs. Ghostbusters gotta help me clear this house of ghost hoes. Courage the Cowardly Dog, Jason Voorhees, Michael Keaton. Dawn of the Dead in my bed, cause that ass I do be eating. I live in a haunted house, and I've seen UFOs. Ghostbusters gotta help me clear this house of ghost hoes. Courage the Cowardly Dog, Jason Voorhees, Michael Keaton. Dawn of the Dead in my bed, cause that ass I do be eating.
That was fun. I like it.
Yeah.
That's a real banger right there.
Yeah, so
Check that out. Alec will have the full video of that available for just jamming out to.
yeah, it's really something.
You got a music video for it?
No.
No, but that's fucking a great idea.
I mean, eventually. It's just, the original bit of it was a 30-second song clip, and then I did a music video for it the same night for TikTok. So, yeah. A lot of the comments on that video were like, "Where's the full version? Put this on Spotify. What the fuck?" and shit like that. So, I'm like, oh, pay me.
I still want you to do a full version of Cry Little Sister.
Well, I'm going to do the full version of the sampled version I did of that.
Yeah.
I need a therapist. Childhood trauma.
So you two dig up childhood trauma. We'll have landed by the time you get it right.
Thanks, Dad.
That's amazing. Yeah, so tonight we're going to talk about Scream 3. But if you want to see more silly shit, man, just subscribe and like.
We don't have this on VHS. Did this come on VHS?
I don't. Yeah, I did.
Scream 3 was a VHS.
It's the year
release.
2000, Nick.
Yeah. Shit, I was still in high school when this came out. I remember it came out in the wintertime, and a bunch of us, like, went right after school to, like, the earliest showing we could go to.
Blew each other in the theater.
Blew each other.
Been better than watching it.
I think it was the Double Dutch Rudder, but neither here nor there.
That's not fun, though.
I mean,
You don't get cum in your mouth with that.
well, I mean, that's not for everybody, so. But I do have Black Panther on my microphone, so you can see right up his booty hole there. He's going to start an OnlyFans.
You know he's dead, right? Just disrespectful.
Why is
I
that
don't remember
disrespect-
asking you a goddamn thing.
The shit we do with toys? No.
Some of what you are about to see and hear is explicit.
Yeah, Nick, it's explicit.
Ooh, he's got some sharp claws.
God damn it! Stop touching.
Nick is
things.
always. We always spend so much time.
You set
setting
anything up in here, and Nick's bound to fuck it up.
Yeah.
And it's not that he's like doing it out to be an asshole. It's just like this awkward weirdness about Nick.
Did you move the pound puppy too? Like,
Yes,
No, I
he
didn't
did.
touch
He
him.
stuck it on the remote.
I didn't touch. No, that's where it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. I reached over him to get the.
Oh, Jesus!
I reached over him to get the gum. I didn't touch him.
So Scream 3.
Scream 3. Let's jump into it.
Let's see.
So
Scream Part 3.
was
February 4th, 2000.
originally
Came out in the year 2000. The year 2000.
So they ruined Valentine's Day that year.
Scream 3 arrives, and
Oh, it's his. Oh, he's been
loosely
decapitated.
based off a treatment by Kevin Williamson, the original writer.
Let's put him on Ghostface's body.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think they'll fit.
That scale's really off too.
Yeah, anything Marvel though they'll fit. So
If it's got a hole, you can cram anything in it.
okay, well I'm gonna talk to you about consent.
I've got a hole. Could you
Ooh.
milk me?
Can you put him on the Toonie Terror one?
You could milk him with your hole, I
The
think.
Toonie Terror
Isn't that how
heads
that
don't
works?
pop off.
Oh,
Yeah, the Toonie Terrors are one piece.
I only have the jaws and.
The best addition to this cast, if we're just being honest here, besides the cameos, talking about actual cast members, is Parker Posey.
She's the Courtney Cox's stunt double.
She's amazing. I love her in everything. In Best in Show, when she has the fucking braces, she's fucking awesome as a human in general. So yeah, I love seeing her in this because it is hilarious. And then Patrick Dempsey is Mark, and I'm just like, eh. But apparently, in Scream 5, someone asked Sydney, "How's Mark?" And she's like, "Oh, he's good." So it's implied that I guess she had his kid and is married to him.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're getting at, so we'll see.
Oh, the other cool addition there is Lance Henriksen, who plays sort of a old-timey, like, Roger Corman type, which is funny because Roger Corman, I believe, has cameo in this also. And, well, he was just in Near Dark that we reviewed as well.
Yeah.
Liev Schreiber, Patrick Warburton, typical people, and then we'll go through the cameos later as they come. This one is... It's an unpopular opinion, but I like it more than Scream 2. There's elements of Scream 2 that I like. Things like, oh, Randy is back. He's not in this one. He's only in that one scene. The killer is actually somebody who we see a little bit more in this movie than as opposed to Scream 2. It's just literally, you're like, oh, I didn't even know these were like options because we barely saw them. Like they said 4 lines.
Yeah, I would say this is, in my opinion, is better than Scream 2. And not necessarily by a lot, but just because it feels less plot rehashed to the first one. Because the first one's high school, second one's college.
Am I
Well,
wrong?
the thing is, they are very self-aware movies, too. Like, Scream 2 is a whole thing where they're making fun of sequels, so I get that, and I get why it's brilliant for that or whatever, but, like, it's not as... I fucking...
The killer in that is... I don't know. I find the backstory for the killer in this a little bit more enjoyable.
The backstory in it is good, but they just didn't give the character development in that movie for it to go there.
No.
Am I wrong that this is Scream fans' least favorite movie?
It depends on Scream fans you're talking about.
I mean, like
Original fans or
as a
current
whole.
fans. Because people who are like 20 right now that are Scream fans, they thought Scream 5 was great, Nick. You cannot trust anything they say.
I thought it was like in general. Like
It's
you
basically
can't-
trifling garbage, except for, I mean...
Is you can't trust it, or it's just new to them, so they like it because, like, the same reason people like Ghostbusters 2, because it's their first theater experience for this shit.
Yeah, that could be it, too.
I mean, I think there's a lot of that out there. It's going to have that... It's what gets them into the franchise, so then they go back and watch the other stuff.
Yeah, it really depends.
So I don't want to, like, exclude anybody for that, but at the same time, you know, they do
I'm
like
not
some
actually
shit.
being serious. They know
I know.
this. Or at least I hope people could realize that I'm not saying they are all terrible people with...
Shit takes on
I don't know. I just don't... I mean, I realize that Scream 3... In my opinion, Scream 3, 2, and 5 are just bad. But you have to be able to find out which one
3,
you like.
2, and 5.
Yeah. 4 is my second favorite.
4 is really good. 4 waited long enough, it did something fresh again.
Well, that's what 5 did, but it redid 4 again instead of...
It didn't advance,
doing its own thing
It didn't
as much.
advance the satire of the industry and the current state of
And that's
things
why
as well.
Scream 6 is going to have nothing to fucking say, except the most they can do is try to make fun of fucking
Overdoing
Halloween ends and kills. That's literally it that's relevant to their movie now.
No, I told you they need to make it to where other Scream movies are no longer canon.
They should just start making stab movies.
In all honesty, they probably should.
Just
I
make
mean,
them stab. And, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't necessarily think a reboot would work because, I mean, this movie being satire but
have they
also
done-
actually being horror.
Have they
Is interesting.
satirized reboot? Did they do that in
That's
5,
kind of what
or-
4 and 5 both did.
I haven't seen 5 yet, and I've only seen 4 once. I don't remember.
4, I love 4.
I don't remember 4 being as annoying maybe as 2 and 3.
It's definitely not.
2 and 3 were so fast back to back. Like, 2 and 3 are made to be like this whole kind of like, hey, here's your franchise.
The new characters are very developed and great in 4 as well. They are.
Yeah.
It's an
That's probably
It was
why
unexpected when you originally saw
There's
it.
new
At least it was for me.
characters on focus in 4. So.
At least one of the killers was. One of them, you're like, okay, I can see that. But
Yeah, and the casting was good. So
Yes.
whoever was the casting director on that was on point.
and Wes Craven didn't direct 5. Wasn't around.
Yeah, that's true.
He did direct 4.
He directed this too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
It's not that it's terrible. No, there are some things in this movie that I really do enjoy. You know, killing off Cotton Weary early on, I think really works.
well, it's like you got to kill off somebody that we
I don't feel
know
like
from
there was
other
any
movies.
memorable kills in this. Is there memorable kills in the other ones?
Well,
I don't remember.
in Scream, for example, the Drew
first
Barrymore
one?
kill, that's
the Drew
very
Barrymore
iconic.
kill is like one of the most iconic on-screen kills ever.
Tatum's death,
The garage door, yeah, that's
that's
fucking
fucking
heroic too.
The
Yeah.
guy getting disemboweled on the porch during Drew Barrymore's scene as well.
But this one,
Yeah.
Scream 3, is there?
like the guts
Scream
falling
no,
out.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like Scream 2 has the opening at the movie theater. That's the best part of that movie.
Yes, that whole opening could lead into anything. Like I just feel like that's a good opening for a horror movie in general.
Scream 3, we have
It just seemed like they were like
no, they're very
basic
typical.
stabbings, and they weren't really even shown on screen.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
I didn't really
Like you
write
see
any
the
notes
person's
down.
face when they're getting stabbed in the back.
Okay, the best kill is the wardrobe closet one.
Yeah,
That one's iconic.
yeah, I'll give you that. I mean,
With
that
the
one
other
works.
costumes, all the ghost-faced outfits,
Oh yeah,
and he's hiding among them, and the actress. The worst part about this movie to me is the magic voice box. That I hate that shit. That's the worst part.
it is.
So I don't know,
It's
that-
a big part of the movie as well. It's not just
When people argue that this is the worst Scream movie, I'm not going to argue that. I'm just saying that I put it higher on my personal favorite list. I don't really care.
There's things about it that are definitely annoying. Like, to your point, the voice changer is fucking stupid.
This one has an interesting soundtrack also. Has a lot of new metal and butt rock on it.
Yeah.
I can do with a new metal, but the butt rock is too much.
Especially at the time, I remember it being a really popular soundtrack.
I still listen to a couple songs off it. There's an orgy song on there that I like called Dissension.
The only way for me that you make the voice box work is by doing the Kevin McAllister scary movie, where he's already got the talk boy, like it's a talk boy brand for adults, to explain that voice changer in there.
We need to do a sketch.
How does it even work, though?
Well, the problem that these movies don't think about when they're doing the sound design and shit for it, and maybe the sound designer probably thought of it because they're doing sound, but they do what they're paid to do, not have an opinion.
The worst example of the sound design in this movie is when they have that scene where Sydney is on the phone with the killer, and the killer is repeating what he's saying back to her, and they literally just used the same audio to repeat it back to her, which is like, fuck you. No. You should have had her do alternate takes.
At this point in time, it wouldn't work. That would not work that way. Even that technology then just wasn't there, because in order for you to have a microphone, you'd have to process it and to actually change it in real time. They didn't have a fucking chip powerful enough to do all that real time changing right there.
Yeah, they didn't have the voice AI shit they do these days.
Yeah. I mean, like, legit, now you've got fucking voice AI that, yeah, you could spoof someone probably just from getting a few little bits of dialogue from them.
Now kind of have that technology, but it's still really
Quit fucking around here with
complicated.
toys. Give me that. You're not allowed to touch this. I'll fucking stab you with a pen.
Stop that.
Exactly.
Sydney dog walking, right? And
Cherokee is the dog's name. I noticed that because you see him again at the end. And I'm like, where's this dog the whole movie? Because I kind of want him to sit next to me while I watch this.
Does she have a lock on the fence? That little short fence that you can just crawl
Well, it's not it is a lock, but it's also an alarm system, so it'll go off in her house if she knows somebody's entered.
Someone's climbed over it. They could probably take
that's
a
what
running
you would do
jump
if you were
They
a Ghostface, for sure.
They could probably jump over it, though.
I mean, I don't know. Could you?
And then...
Could you run and jump over that?
I don't know.
I don't know if I could. Shit.
Someone could, an athletic person.
Well, someone.
But then she puts
something had to break the window.
She puts an extra...
Something had to get the floor all wet.
She puts an extra deadbolt on that door that's 90% glass. Like, they could just run through the door.
Well, it's still an alarm to call the police, so...
Booger was staring right at me.
Yeah, he's looking. Oh, now he's doing the little eye thing. So basically, they're setting up that she's paranoid and she's living in seclusion.
She's not in like the first half of this movie, other than this pretty much.
I was thinking as I was watching the whole movie, she's not in much of the movie at all, really.
She's in more of 4 than she is 3, which is another reason why it's better. And 5, she's barely in also.
What does she do in this movie other than fight the bad guy at the end? That's really significant.
She's Sydney.
Yeah.
I don't know. The plot isn't so much my favorite part of this. My favorite things of it are like the goofy cameos, like fucking Carrie Fisher in there. The references to Star Wars. I was up for Princess Leia, but who gets it? The one that sleeps with George Lucas.
Yeah, that was fucking amazing.
Stupid and fucking ridiculous.
And that's
Jane Silent Bob. Like,
Are you saying that Carrie Fisher slept with George Lucas?
No, that's what she said in the movie.
That was her fucking sense of humor. I'm sure she came up with her own dialogue.
She fucked Harrison Ford, though. She said that.
I'm sure.
I mean...
I would fuck both of those people. I would watch them fuck. I would get in the middle of them fucking.
But did Harrison Ford and George Lucas...
Especially in 1980 or 83, anywhere in that range?
Why do you want to know, Nick? What happens if she did get double stuffed by them or Chinese finger cuffed by them? Does that change your opinion of her?
Can you imagine George Lucas having sex?
Oh yeah, just a little,
just a little bit more over there. Oh yeah,
faster, more intense.
I'm almost there.
Oh my god, could you imagine if he made a porno? He'd do like the special editions of it. He's like, oh yeah, just right there, Princess Leia. Where are you tonight?
Lay on your back.
What if he redid the special effects of the porn?
So I'm gonna come on your tits.
That's what I'm saying. He just redid he had a special edition of his porn. This is Princess Leia. Princess Labia.
Princess Labia.
That's probably her name.
Yeah. Okay, here's a weird thing to say, but I just pictured George Lucas being more the type of guy that sleeps with Kathleen Kennedy than sleeps with Carrie Fisher.
That.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like those two would have hooked up. She was a producer on everything back in those days. Like, she's produced a lot of our favorite.
Stop
fucking
chewing
films.
gum during the podcast.
I know, it's just fucking chewing on the goddamn mic. And he's picking up the toys and playing with them.
You got it right there.
That doesn't mean you have to touch it. It's called a
It's a
display
prop.
piece. What if that gum was 10 years old?
That's real gum in there. If you
I'm gonna
want
make you.
put some fake gum in there.
I'm gonna
That's
make.
not how that works.
Yeah, and then you try to get mad at him when
That's
you
a
break
real
your tooth
gumball
on it.
machine. I almost did on these fucking hard things.
I'm gonna give you a fucking stick of like one of those cards of gum that come with like.
Well, I wanted some of that
collectible
fruit
packs.
stripe, but I don't think you're opening that. So
I have an open fruit stripe somewhere.
Oh my god.
I could have had that. It would have already been out of flavor, and I've been done.
My favorite part of Scream 3 though is the fact that they've got this set within a set that's kind of giving them some like serious flashbacks and PTSD.
Yeah, they built those whole houses on the fucking lot
Yeah.
or in the studio.
That's how they do movies.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes they use actual sets. Sometimes they'll rebuild things on local.
Sometimes they do both.
Well, I mean, they built
Ghostbusters Afterlife, they
multiple
built it
houses.
twice. And you can tell. Throwing shade.
Just keeping it real. Here we go from outdoors.
Let's talk about Gail's hair in this. She got in a fight with a weed whacker, and I'm not going to lie. I kind of want to put a bag over her head, and that's the first time I've ever said that.
Did she have her hair pulled back when she first appears, when she's giving a speech or whatever?
I don't know.
I don't think
It
so,
was
but
really bad there.
that is like the prime example of the worst bangs I've ever seen on anyone. And like bangs aren't a bad thing by any means. Like by all means, I get plenty of hairstyles. Like I'm looking at the back of the box. Like Sydney's bangs look great in the first Scream, and then you go to Scream 3 and you're like, what the fuck did you do to her hair?
They're like uneven and extremely short.
Someone got paid to make her look like shit on purpose. Like, do you think the hairdresser just fucking hated her?
They should have thrown a wig on her.
Fuck, at that point, I don't know.
I mean, she showed up with her hair like that. I don't know what else they really could have done with it.
Buzzed it off.
Yeah,
just
Sinead
look better.
O'Connor.
Throw a wig on.
Some fashion at the time. Nick Cave did a sequel song for this movie.
Yeah.
That's in the movie. Sounds like Red Right Hand, but it's not Red Right Hand, even though he does say Red Right Hand in it.
I do find that funny too, like that he went, got him to do that. That's pretty cool.
I said her hair is worse than Sam Jackson and Jackie Brown.
Worse than his hair?
So my note about her hair is I said she's got shitty bangs and she's wearing a Curious George outfit of the guy in the hat. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what happened here?
Here's the best part of the movie to me is like the most intellectual that it gets. Exactly. Is I mean in terms of
Well, that guy's really
satire and horror and
he's
referencing
really
things.
intellectual. He created that voice box that make him sound like anybody.
What I'm talking about is how it references satirically other movies and things and horror and stuff.
Like what?
When they're all sitting there, the actors are talking about the people dying, and she says, "We're not in any danger," and he says, "Right here, we're not in any danger, page 15." You know, like that bit has me fucking laughing every time.
There's some great stuff in there.
The girl dies in wardrobe.
Is that the kill right after he's fucking with her about her lines? Mm-hmm. They're practicing, they're rehearsing the lines, yeah.
And he gets questioned. Somebody's trying to ruin my movie.
Which is a pretty good cover when you think about it, right?
My notes, I have like 4 notes left, pretty much, so. The bodyguard gets killed. Patrick Warburton.
Yeah, that's right.
I like that we find Randy's tape for the trilogy info.
Yeah,
Like,
that's another good scene.
It's good that they're able to find a way to shoehorn him in there, and it didn't feel like so out of place because it seems like
I mean, it's a
something-
little bullshitty, let's be honest. It's a little fucking dumb and it wouldn't have really happened, no matter what. But still,
that character is on that level in the first movie, so like that is something his character would do if he really thought he was going to get there. But it was a fun way to bring him back because I think that's kind of like one of the better characters in the franchise that they fucked over early.
I mean, I'm here for it, but it is one other thing where you have to just suspend disbelief because
Yeah.
it's a weird, wacky movie. These movies, ever since the first Scream, it's been intentionally weird and wacky. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be that way. So, Sydney finally shows up.
Oh, yeah, she's in this movie, isn't she?
And then you get that Carrie Fisher scene, which we talked about already, kind of. But then they'd go to the Lance Henriksen, and Milton produced the movies with
Sydney's mom.
Rena Reynolds, Sydney's mom, her stage name.
Stop chewing in the fucking microphone.
I didn't.
Just spit the gum out. You're pissing me off.
You're a smart motherfucker, that's right.
He's eating there, too. Sounds just like you.
Let's see. I don't have much notes left. The house sets are interesting. Jay and Silent Bob is cool. Because if you think about it, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back came out in, 2001?
Mm-hmm.
And they're on the Miramax set in that movie, so you can just kind of pretty much pretend that they're happening at the same time at the same place.
Yeah, it works well. I mean, I remember seeing seeing this in theaters. I got a real big kick out of that.
So the Scream movies are in the Askew-universe?
Mm-hmm.
This is all canon together?
Yeah. Well, it checks out. James Vanderbeek is in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and he's in Dawson's Creek, written by Kevin Williamson.
Yeah, actually, it does. Full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Detective work there, Batman. I like it.
Um,
I like the mansion at the end, like the whole mansion setup with the private screening room and the little backstory behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty cool. Now the fucking getting into that hidden panic room, like you think you're gonna be in there, but after you knocked all the books off the shelf, like there's one book left. Let me open that, and obviously the killer knows their way around anyway. So like, what did you think you're going to do?
So Dogma and Scream are in the same universe, so the shit monster could show up.
Oh god, that'd be
we could
amazing.
actually have some supernatural stuff.
No.
I mean, there's already supernatural things happening in this movie.
The voice box.
Exactly. The voice box. I don't know. Dewey not getting just killed.
There's a lot of
Dewey having a job.
For sure.
There's a lot of slut shaming kind of vibes in this movie with like the guy that's so mad at his mom that he's mad that his mom won't accept him, even though that's the victim of a rape. Like, there's this whole thing here that people, like, if you were raped and forced to have your child, you'd automatically be reminded of that fucking.
Hand me that Fangoria.
Oh god damn it! I can't say the R word. You might have to censor that. Oh, is that Scream 3 issue?
This is a Movie Maniacs toys that get your blood flowing out on the back. But yes, on the front,
Oh yeah, Scream 3.
it's the...
Why didn't you have that on display?
Because I just
we're
now
have to
remembered it.
refilm this whole thing.
No.
the
but-
Fangoria, baby.
This whole plot is this guy's angry at his mom for what happened to her. Never stops to think that it might be painful or a reminder of all the bad shit that happened to her to see him, and doesn't want anything to do with him. And he takes it personal and goes nuts and sets this whole chain off. Sounds like a typical dude.
Flight 180, which was Final Destination.
Yep.
Which we're recording another episode of that tonight for Final Destination 2. We already reviewed Final Destination.
What a quinky dink.
Okay, I don't like the plot where the director is the brother, the twist ending. That's a little... another weird family bullshit thing that doesn't need to happen.
Well,
Skywalker syndrome.
Yeah. They just try to tie it back in there. And
Fuck off.
it's,
I always want to add family members.
Fourth is the family members as well, but it's more realistic and makes more sense.
Looks
Because
like-
it's more of like a... It reminds me of the Brady Bunch.
Well, remember, like they said,
Yeah.
this
Dan
is supposed
Brady.
to be the final film or whatever. So, like, Freddy's dead. They introduce a daughter of Freddy.
Oh, yeah, it's
And
a
Jason
trilogy.
goes to hell. They introduce his sister or whatever the fuck. And so,
yeah, there's just some of that doesn't work. Now, the ending of the movie, besides that, it's interesting because, like, they both have bulletproof vests on. I like that little bit.
Luckily, you were wearing your bulletproof vest.
Yeah. I mean, because
What
that...
if he shot you in the face?
To me, that's some of the most satire in the movie. Is it's like so cliche.
Bulletproof vest. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. So much of the Back to the Future.
Yeah.
On the night that you go back. Yeah.
Well, I thought, what the hell?
What the hell? No, this it's fun. But it's overall, it's kind of one of those, like,
I didn't know
every
fun.
time I watch it, I'm like, eh. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's not the worst sequel in horror movie history.
If I'm
by any
ranking
means.
in terms of favorite, this is going to rank above Friday the 13th 1.
Shut it off.
2.
Oh my god! Don't you say 3?
Not 3 or 4.
8. You can say
5.
I'll let-
6.
No, 5 is
7.
5 is great.
Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X, but not Freddy versus
skipped
Jason.
over 8.
3, 4, 8. 3, 4.
8's horrible.
8 is great.
No, it isn't.
8 is great, baby. It makes me want to
8 rhymes
masturbate.
with great, but it isn't.
You just are hate in.
Yeah, he hates it. He hates it. No, it's one. Every time I watch this, I'm like, okay, there's some things I like about it, but for the most part, it's pretty forgettable.
I'm never watching this.
I like the
ever
idea
again.
of a horror slasher on a Hollywood set. That's
Yes.
what's most fun about it to me, and the script references, all the things like
Did
that.
they utilize that concept well enough, though?
For the time period? Yeah, sure. It was fine.
Yeah, it was decent enough. Nowadays, I think you'd do some things different, but
There are definitely things that I would change if I was the writer of Scream 3, but I wasn't. So
What would you do?
well, in Scream 3 had a
What would
different
you-
screenwriter. It
what
wasn't
would-
Kevin
Well,
Williams.
What would you
different?
do to drive forward the plot without the voice box?
they could pay me, and then I would tell you. Otherwise, it's not worth the
You
effort.
think they'll take it and make Scream 7?
No.
with your
I
ideas?
just don't give a shit to put forth the effort.
Sydney needs to be the killer.
Well, that's the.
Well, listen, we had visions of fucking Dead Billy in Scream 5, so Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Like, oh, we need it to be supernatural. Like, no one gives a fuck. The thing, though, is like Sydney would be so fucking psychologically traumatized from all this
Yeah.
that she'd never be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean that in like a
The
bad
fact
way.
that it happens this much is like,
Yeah, it's too much.
I feel like a person in real life would find a way out, and by find a way out, I mean do a
would've-
self-checkup
She
because
would have left the country by
it'd
now.
be fucking so difficult to exist after that over and over again.
Go out and live in the woods.
But they all are like, oh yeah, she's great. She's got a dog and a nice security system, and you're like, whoa, she's got fucking trauma beyond belief.
I like her
She didn't
job that
even-
she's helping other trauma victims.
She
Though.
didn't
Yes.
even get the right breed of dog for protection.
What? I don't know. What kind of dog would you get for protection?
You gonna say some racist dog shit?
No,
He's a breedist.
No.
that dog's just gonna lick you.
How do you know?
Cause
Not if you train it to attack someone's genitalia.
I don't think she did that.
You don't know that. He's only in the movie at the beginning and the end. It's probably her real dog in
Exactly.
real life,
She
and she
didn't
brought
take
it
it.
to set.
She didn't take it with her when she went
You wanna hurt me?
to town.
Go right ahead if it makes you feel any better.
And none of these people are like strapped, you know.
Well, Sydney was because she had 2 guns in one boot.
She's not always with that, right?
I don't know. We don't ever see up her boots.
Courtney Cox doesn't have a gun.
She's got a Cox, though.
Courtney Cox. Arquette.
All right. I think that's about it tonight on this episode.
Yeah, we're running out of bullshit here.
I think
yeah.
the steam is fully gone. It's cold in here.
Watch this movie.
Look at him sniffing his own butt.
Watch this instead of Friday the 13th 1, 2.
No.
Watch it instead of Friday the 13th 1,
No.
2,
No.
5, 6, 7, Jason Goes to Hell, and Jason X.
No.
Yeah.
Instead
watch
of
that.
those, watch Scream 3.
Anytime you
I'd
think about
rather
watching-
watch Friday 8th than this.
Hey, Nick, can you tell me what is your favorite Friday